Let's do a quick demo of taking some screenshots with your phone and having Google describe them. All right, so we're going to add a camera shot of what I'm looking at right here. I'm turning my camera sideways, and we'll just take a quick snapshot, and I'll attach that. And let me turn on my microphone.
The image shows a computer screen displaying a section of a website, likely related to accessibility testing or evaluation. Here's a breakdown of what's visible. Key elements. Heading. Label and accessible name do not match is repeated 3 times at the top left, indicating a potential error or issue found by the accessibility testing tool. Table. A table is presented below the heading, outlining details about the accessibility issue. The columns include points you can gain. 1.58 points are associated with resolving this issue. Pages with this issue. 83 pages are affected. Number of occurrences. 83 occurrences of this issue were found. Difficulty level. The difficulty is rated as advanced with 4 filled circles out of 4. Learn more. Link. A link titled Learn More is present, likely providing additional information about the specific accessibility problem. Explanation. Below the Learn More link, a short explanation clarifies the issue. The name of any interactive element should contain its visible text label. Using 2 different names for a single page element can create a confusing experience for assistive technology users. It further explains how speech input users might be affected if the visible label and accessible name don't match. This issue section. A section titled This Issue shows label and accessible name do not match, 0 occurrences, indicating that this particular instance is not currently flagged. Footer. The website's footer is partially visible, showing AVIS and a progress bar indicating 32, 0551, 03. Background. The background of the page appears to be a light color with a subtle pattern. Overall impression. The image captures a snapshot of an accessibility audit process. It highlights a common problem, where the visible label of an element doesn't match its accessible name, potentially causing confusion and usability issues for people relying on assistive technologies. The detailed information in the table and the explanation provided suggest a tool aimed at helping developers identify and fix such accessibility issues. The 0 occurrences under this issue might seem contradictory, but it could mean that the main heading is a summary of all instances, while this issue refers to a specific instance that isn't currently active or selected. The image suggests a technical context related to web development and accessibility compliance.
Okay, let's see it try and do another one.
Absolutely. Here's a description of the image, including the handwritten text. Image type. The image is a photograph of a whiteboard or similar writing surface. Content. Cladogram. The central focus is a cladogram, a branching diagram that visually represents evolutionary relationships between different organisms or groups. Handwritten text. The entire content is handwritten. Here's a breakdown. Title. Cladogram right pointing arrow depicts evolutionary relationships at the top. Branches. Lines branching out to the right labeled A, B, C, D, E, and F, representing different groups or species. Labels. Sister group, pointing to B and C, most closely related, pointing to B and C. Tree, pointing to the overall branching structure. Node right pointing arrow branching event, pointing to a junction point in the cladogram. Root, at the base of the cladogram. Low reproductive isolation, likely meant to be lack of reproductive isolation, pointing to the base of the cladogram. Biological species concept, pointing to the bottom portion of the cladogram. B plus C and D plus E, written to the left of the diagram, indicating potential groupings. Branch, pointing to the branch leading to A. Other elements. Lighting. The lighting appears to be coming from the upper part of the image, casting a slight shadow at the bottom. Surface. The writing surface appears to have a slight texture. Bottom bar. A dark bar is visible at the bottom of the image, partially obscuring the bottom of the whiteboard. It shows a timestamp 4:59 and a date 0914_09_57. Speaker icon. A small speaker icon is visible at the bottom right corner, suggesting that the image might be a still from a video. 4 in a circle. A small circle with the number 4 inside is visible in the bottom right corner, partially obscured by the speaker icon. Overall style. The image has a casual, informal look, consistent with a quick snapshot of a whiteboard explanation. The handwriting is clear and legible, although some words are slightly abbreviated or misspelled, e.g., low instead of lack of. The focus is on conveying the basic concept of a cladogram and its relation to evolutionary relationships and the biological species concept.
Not bad. So let's try another one.
This slide is a presentation slide outlining the early educational experiences of a deaf or hard of hearing student, likely in a time before widespread accessibility and understanding of diverse communication needs. Here's a breakdown. Title: Experiences as a Student, in a large, bold orange font at the top. Subtitle: E-College, in a smaller, lighter orange font below the title, suggesting this is part of a larger presentation or series. Content: The slide is primarily text-based, using bullet points to highlight key experiences. Told to adapt to the hearing world and good luck. This quote highlights the lack of support and the expectation of assimilation into a hearing-centric environment. Not much help from family. This indicates a potential lack of understanding or resources within the family to support the student's needs. No assistive devices other than a hearing aid. This emphasizes the limited technology available or accessible at the time. No academic assistance. Reinforces the lack of specialized educational support. Pre-5th grade right-pointing arrow at school for deaf and hard of hearing. This points to early specialized schooling. 1973, Rehabilitation Act not in effect. This is a crucial point, as this act significantly impacted accessibility and rights for individuals with disabilities. Its absence highlights the challenges faced before its implementation. Started extensive lip reading and speech therapy. Oral deaf education. This describes the educational approach focused on oralism, aiming to teach deaf students to speak and understand spoken language. Was not allowed to sign. Manual deaf education. This is a significant detail, showcasing the suppression of sign language in favor of oralism, a common practice in certain periods. Used analog hearing aids. Specifies the type of hearing aid technology used, indicating an older, less advanced technology compared to modern digital aids. Visual elements. Background. The slide has a plain blue background. Image. Bottom right. A small black and white photograph shows a young woman in a dress and a person, likely a teacher or therapist, interacting. The person's hand is near the woman's face, possibly demonstrating articulation or checking speech. This image visually connects to the theme of oral deaf education. Timestamp, bottom left. A small timestamp, 11 a.m. is visible. Copyright information. Bottom. Text along the bottom includes Lisa L. Rapalva, Ph.D., May 16, 20, indicating the author and date of the presentation. A small graphic element is also present. Overall tone. The slide conveys the challenges and limitations faced by a deaf student in an era with fewer resources and a different understanding of deaf education. It highlights the shift from oralism to a more inclusive approach that recognizes the importance of sign language and diverse communication methods. The use of personal anecdotes, like the quote at the beginning, makes the information relatable and impactful.
Okay, that was pretty good.